Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I am Eka Jati Waluya, majoring in Public Administration, Class 6B. Here, I will explain about German foreign policy. So, check it out. Chapter 1, Introduction. With the emergence of Asia, the political and economic balance is increasingly shifting to the Indo-Pacific region. This region is the key to shaping the international order in the 21st century. The Indo-Pacific region is not clearly described in geographic terms and is divided in a number of different ways. The federal government considers the Indo-Pacific to be entire region marked by the Indian and Pacific Ocean. Strategic projections compete with each other and global value chains are intertwined here. From a global perspective, the region has a young, well-educated population and can look back on decades of considerable economic growth, with China, Japan, and the US. The world's three largest economic have Pacific coastline. India, another Indo-Pacific power, could become number 4 a few years from now. 20 of the world's 33 megacities are located in this region. More and more government, organizations, and institutions worldwide are making the Indo-Pacific region their conceptual frame of reference and thus the basis of their policies. For example, Japan, the US, India, Australia, France, and the Association of the Southeast Asian Nation. As an internationally active trading nation and a proponent of a rule-based international order, Germany, embedded in the European Union, has a great interest in participating in Asia growth dynamic and in being involved in shaping the Indo-Pacific region, as well as in upholding global norm in regional structure. A thorough understanding of the interests and principles as well as of the key field of German policy in this region is therefore all the more important. This is what the following policy guidelines seek to achieve. These policy guidelines are intended to identify points of departure and opportunities for cooperating with partners in the region and to contribute to a future overall EU strategy. Chapter 2, Interests. The federal government is guided by the following interests in its policy on the Indo-Pacific region. Point 1. Peace and security. The Indo-Pacific region is home to three nuclear powers, China, India, and Pakistan, as well as North Korea with a nuclear weapon program. It also includes the US and Russia with Pacific coastline and French and the UK with Indo-Pacific territories. Diversifying and deepening reliable partnership are the foundation for effective and sustainable action in the 21st century. Germany already enjoys friendly relations with almost all countries of the Indo-Pacific region, as well as strategic partnership in a number of cases. Point 3. Neither unipolar nor bipolar hegemony and also the consolidation of bipolar structure will endanger an approach comprising deepened and diversified partnership in the region. No country should, as in the time of the Cold War, be forced to choose between two sides or fall into a state of unilateral dependency. Point 4. Open shipping route. More than 90% of the world's foreign trade is conducted by sea, a large part of which via the Indian and Pacific Ocean. Up to 25% of the world's maritime trade passes through the Strait of Malacca. Point 5. Open market and free trade. The share of the countries of South Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia as well as Australia and New Zealand in Germany's trade in goods has risen steadily in a recent decade, now amount to over 20% or just under 0.20 billion euro. Direct investment in the region have for years been growing disproportionately in relation to total German foreign investment. Point 6. Digital in transformation and connectivity. Economic growth and prosperity depend more than ever on correcting region, market admission, and on expanding key technologies. With a view to strengthening Germany competitiveness, the federal government supports the expansion of cooperation in the area of digital transformation and the key technologies. Point 7. Protecting our planet. The rapid economic growth in the Indo-Pacific region in recent decades has enabled world section of the population to achieve great gain in prosperity. However, rising emission along with population growth, which is still high in some cases, and with scale urbanization are placing an additional burden on both the global climate and our planet ecosystem. Point 8. Access to fact-based information. At a time in which social media is becoming increasingly important, communication is also an effective foreign policy instrument in the Indo-Pacific region. Authoritarian actors make intensive use of communication to manipulate and influence civil society. The federal government is countering the considerable spread of disinformation in the region by increasing the availability of fact-based information. Chapter 3. Principle. The federal government is guided by the following interests in this policy on the Indo-Pacific region. Point 1. European action. The EU and its member states can be better protect and assert their interests by acting in a united or coherent manner. Taking its lead from its global strategy of 2060, the EU is focusing its attention on strong security political engagement and ambitious trade and development policy and the implementation of the EU-Asia connectivity strategy. Point 2. Multilateralism. Stronger political, economic, and security policy network and with the region leads to a reduction of unilateral dependencies and perceive both the ability to act and sovereignty. Germany and the EU are committed to the close integration of the region into multilateral organizations and forums such as the G20 and the promotion of regional multilateral structure within the framework of a network of partnership, provided that, as in the case of ASEAN, the participating states enjoy a level playing field. Point 3. The rules-based order. In the Indo-Pacific region, too is not the law of the strong that must prevail, but the strength of the law. This also applies to the shipping route through the Indian Ocean and the Pacific. The UN Convention of the Law of the Sea as comprehensive maritime regulatory and cooperation framework and the freedom of navigation ensured therein universal. Point 4. United Nations Development Goals. The federal government is committed to the 2030 agenda with its 17 sustainable development goals. In particular, it is committed to life and dignity, education for all, decent work, and the long-term preservation of natural resources. Point 5. Human rights. The federal government respects the history and culture of each the countries of the Indo-Pacific region and is also committed to the enforcement of universal and indivisible human rights. Point 6. Inclusivity. The Indo-Pacific region can only benefit from peace, security, and stability if all countries in the region do their part in equal measure. The federal government supports inclusive regional cooperation initiatives. Point, point 7. A partnership among equal. The federal government policy is not only aimed at intensifying relations with actors in the region, rather in the future it aims to step up its cooperation with Indo-Pacific states in third countries on an equal footing and in a spirit of shared global responsibility. This is particularly expedient in the case of overlapping interests and in forums such as the G20 and requires a willingness to cooperate of the part of partners country. Chapter 4. Initiative. The federal government is guided by the following interests in its policy on the Indo-Pacific region. Point 1. Strengthening multilateralism. Point 2. Tackling climate change and protecting the environment. Point 3. Strengthening peace, security, and stability. Point 5. Promoting human rights and the rule of law. Point 6. Strengthening rules-based, fair, and sustainable free trade. Point 7. Rule-based networking and digital transformation of region and market. Point 8. Bringing people together through culture, education, and science. I think that's all. Thank you for your attention. See you soon. Wassalamualaikum.